Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Andy, and today we have the March end of the month reading for the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. Welcome guys, I hope that you guys are doing good. We're gonna go ahead and get started with your reading. Quick disclaimer, this is a general reading, so it may or may not resonate with you. Take the messages that do, leave what doesn't. Assume that any message that I say throughout the reading that does not make any sense to your situation at all is going to be intended for another viewer, okay? The only way to get accurate messages for your specific situation is to book a one-on-one session with me, and you can email me, and that is in the description box down below. With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get started with your end of the month reading for March. March end of the month reading for the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. Okay. So we're going to take a look at 3 different things in this reading. These readings are a lot shorter than your main monthly. If you haven't watched your main monthly reading for the month of March, go watch that first and then come back here because some of these messages may be ongoing from that story. What was yours for this month? You always have a choice. Oh yeah, I think I remember yours was about you have the choice to do something or to not to do something, but you always have a choice. Like, because sometimes I feel like I think it was that you were put in a situation this month where like you kind of feel like you have to decide. You have to either do it or not do it, or you feel like you don't have a choice in a situation where you feel like you have to do something, but you could always not do it. Maybe there's consequences, but there's consequences to anything. There's consequences if you do something. There's consequences if you don't do something, and consequences can be good and bad. They're just an after effect, I guess, of whatever energy you choose to put out or not to put out there. It's gonna make some type of a change. It's gonna affect the world in some type of way. Just keep that in mind. So we're gonna be taking a look at something that you do not see coming towards the end of the month. And then we're gonna look at an area or aspect of your life that is really calling for your attention right now during this time. And then a closing message from Spirit like we normally do. But just keep in mind these are gonna be shorter than your main monthlies, okay? I'm really trying to keep them short, but so far everyone's been a lot longer than I had anticipated. I talk a lot, so it's my fault. I'm a Sag, it's my fault, that's why. All right, for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements at the end of the month of March, what's coming up that they don't see coming? What does Sagittarius not see coming? What are they gonna unexpectedly run into? I feel like it's someone. I feel like you guys might be because I feel like some of you guys might still be going out. I feel like some of you guys might unexpectedly run into someone, or somehow I feel like it's someone that you're gonna unexpectedly run into. Okay, 5 of Cups. What does Sagittarius not see coming towards the end of the month of March? What's unexpected? What doesn't Sag see coming? What doesn't Sag see coming? We have the 5 of Cups. We have the 10 of Swords in reverse. We have the 10 of Cups in the upright. And then lastly, we have the 4 of Cups at the bottom of the deck, and something really told me to draw the bottom of the deck card, which I don't always, but I do sometimes feel a significant pull to check the bottom card. But something was like, take it. It's definitely for this reading. So let's get into it. Okay. So the thing that you do not see coming, Sag, towards the end of the month is that I feel like you're going to start to feel really disappointed about something that you no longer have. I feel like you're gonna finally start to feel the loss of something that, like, I don't think that this is something that you recently lost. It could be, but I feel like you either walked away from something, or you let go of something, or someone walked away from you, whatever. There was a loss or a removal of someone or something from your life, and that thing is no longer present in your life anymore, for whatever reason. And I feel like whenever it was removed, because maybe it's different, maybe for some of you guys this is new energy where this whatever was lost or whatever was removed from your life was recently. But even if it was further back, it's like whenever it happened, since the thing was removed, you've been like typical Sag, like the way that I feel like Sagittarius act after a loss is very similar to Capricorn in my eyes, where we just kind of keep going and pretend like it didn't happen. And maybe if we run fast enough, it will never catch up with us. And I think that's kind of what Sag thinks, at least in the way we act. Maybe some of you guys haven't even realized. I am a Sag. Almost all of the best friends I've ever had growing up and even now are all Sagittarius. I know so many Sagittarius. Those are my people. I love Sag energy. But I find that I see this quality in most of us, that we kind of tend to, even those of us that are more emotionally vulnerable or emotionally mature, we still tend to kind of just run away from those things. And that's a similar way of being as I think most fire signs are, where even though we do have a lot of emotions, we tend to run away from, I think, the lower vibrational ones. We don't like to feel sad or to feel low because our energy is so vibrant and high in intensity. So I feel like whatever it was that was lost, you've been moving, you've been like, oh, I'm fine, I'm good. And maybe you have been good. Like maybe you've been doing really good. Maybe everything's been going smooth and great in your life, and life's just been peachy keen. But towards the end of the month of March, if you're not already feeling this, it's gonna happen towards the end of the March leading into the next month. It's gonna start catching back up with you. And you have to think about what's going on right now in the world. This pandemic that we have going on, what is it causing? The main purpose of what's happening is that it's slowing everything down. People aren't traveling, people aren't going to work, people aren't hanging out with their friends. Like people are literally slowing down to the point where they have no option but to be and sit with themselves. And now that you cannot run anymore, you've run out of room, you've run out of freedom to run and to keep moving, these feelings are finally catching up with you, and they're hitting hard. They're hitting hard. This is something that I feel like you guys could be like up late at night bawling your eyes out. A lot of you guys could be crying a lot over this, because it's like you experienced loss, you already went through this loss, but you weren't grieving it or you weren't feeling it until now. Whenever it was that happened, whether it was new or it was a while ago, it didn't hit until now. Now it's hitting, and now it's making you realize that I think that you missed out. This hurts. I feel like now you guys feel like you missed out. Look at that, 10 of Cups next to the 4 of Cups. Like, I feel like you guys I feel like some of you guys are going to start, when this happens, you're going to have realization towards the end of the month of March that you turned away, or you neglected, or you left something that could have been potentially really, really, really good. And if this doesn't resonate, it could have been vice versa. Maybe you're on the receiving end of this. Maybe you feel like someone left you or abandoned you or rejected you, and you're like, damn. Or they're starting to feel this. They're starting to feel like, damn, I could have had something with this person. It could have been something, and now it's finally catching up with them. Vice versa. It's catching up. It's caught up. Oh, Sag. Yeah, it's caught up. And it hurts. I feel like this really hurts. This is like there's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of emotional distress, I feel like your energetic body is very unstable at this time. Your physical, mental, mind, and body might be good, but your energetic body is kind of out of whack because of these lower vibrational emotions. That it's kind of like, it could be even like not even one specific thing, but it could be just it could be, now that things have slowed down, you're reevaluating all the things that you've missed out on, or all the things that you've walked away from, or vice versa, have walked away from you, or neglected you, or rejected you. And you've never really sat with it. You've never really felt the feelings. You've never really processed. You've just accepted and acknowledged and moved on. So now that, again, because things are slowing down to a standstill, it's all catching up with you. Boom, and it's hitting like a truck. It's hitting really, really, really hard. And I feel like you're I feel like you're this girl. You're like over it though. Like, even though I feel like you guys are the ones that are like, damn, I could have had it all. I could have had this. I could have blah, blah, blah. Like, whatever it is. I feel like you guys are over it. Like, it's almost like you're getting mad, and this part is making sense for me. But it's like you're getting mad or upset with yourself for feeling this way. It's like you're feeling this way. It could be after like you're crying or whatever that you're going through. And then you're like, damn, like, why is it affecting me so much? Why do I care so much? Because obviously you do, because of the way that you're reacting emotionally. And it's like, it's bothering you. For some of you, it could be bothering you how much it's affecting you. And I think the reason why it's bothering us, or why it's bothering you specifically, is because of this. Because you realized the thing that you lost was or could have been something really beautiful. It could have been that love, happiness, abundance, peace, security, stability, comfort, family, unity. And it was a missed opportunity. So I feel like some of you could be regretting, like, be like, damn, why didn't I accept it? Or damn, why didn't I go for it? Or damn, why didn't I, do more? Why didn't I do more? Because I feel like even if it was something that walked away from you, I feel like you easily let it go. I definitely think that it is a tricky situation, because I definitely think with this, I feel like there's a lot of suffering inside that you're holding on to. There's a lot of emotional disturbance, very chaotic energy, very disruptive, very negatively charged. There's a lot of distress inside of you, a lot of suffering. I feel like you may have gone through a lot prior to this loss, or during the transition of this loss, or maybe even after, and then you kind of have ignored it for a while, and now it's coming back up again. But you have to think about why it would come back up. So if this is unexpected, you're like, no, I'm good, and then it comes back up, you think about why. It's gonna continue to come back up no matter where you go, because you can't run from yourself, and it's something that you carry within yourself now. So in order for you to stop, in order for this to stop affecting you in this way, in order for you to stop suffering and holding in this pain and this suffrage, you need to sit with it, face it, talk to it, nurture it, heal it, process, and then pack it all away. Remember that experience. Take the lessons, learn those lessons, and apply them to your day-to-day life moving forward, and then you can proceed. And then it will no longer catch up with you, because you will have already caught up with it. So instead of letting it catch up with you, you catch up with it, and you deal with it, and then move on, so that way it won't be chasing you anymore. Your past will not be haunting you. Your past will not be chasing you no more. Let's take a look at where the focus needs to be. So for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, where does the focus need to be? What aspect or area of Sagittarius' life is really calling for their attention? Where does their attention need to be at the end of the month of March? 1, 2, 3, one more, 4. Oh, nope, one more. 4. All right, so where does the attention need to be? What aspect or area of Sagittarius' life is calling for their attention? We have the 7 of Wands. We have the Tower in reverse. And then we have the Sun in reverse. Allow whatever needs you. You're really resisting something, and I think you're resisting yourself. You're resisting. You're resisting. Oh gosh, why are we like this? Because you're a very strong person. You're a very strong individual. You're an independent, free-spirited, full of love, beautiful being that you are, Sag. You, like most people, have some sort of defense system, whether it's walls, whether it's a turret, whether it's security, whatever it is. We all have a form of a defense system to protect ourselves emotionally, mentally, physically. I think that this is big because I think that what Spirit is asking you to do is Spirit is asking you to let down your guard, because it's no longer protecting you from anything bad. It's actually, I mean, it could still be doing that, but it's primarily now blocking out or keeping out any happiness, any possibility of a happy ending, any possibility of a happy future moving forward, of joy and happiness. It's preventing happiness to come into your life because you've built up a really strong defense system and you are extremely defensive right now. I feel like you could feel really bothered by people's energy. This is also a word of caution as to not to allow people to affect your energy just because people are vibing lower than you, just because people are being negative or petty or rude or whatever. Let them do that. Stand your ground in those particular aspects. That's definitely what Spirit is saying. Don't give in to the influence of other people's energy. Stand secure and stand tall within yourself. Find security within yourself, because right now a lot of people's sense of security is crumbling to shit. And I think the only thing that anyone can really take security in is themselves and God or a higher power. Take security in that. But Spirit is asking you to maybe it's not completely tearing down those walls, but maybe Spirit is asking you to look at what are those walls keeping out. Because I think that when you actually pay attention, I feel like you built a wall and you're like, okay, this wall's gonna block out negativity, and then you never visit the wall, you never do maintenance on the wall, you never check what's actually on the other side of the wall and see, is it danger, is it negativity, or are there other things that it's also keeping out? Because I think that it is starting to keep out opportunities for happiness, opportunities for you to live in a state of bliss and a state of joy. Especially if you have been suffering a lot and you've been really heavily emotionally volatile recently in the past couple months. It's happening because you're unable to catch that break that we keep wanting. You're unable to catch that success and that happiness out of life that you're wanting, or that we've been wanting collectively as Sagittarius, because the only thing that's getting in the way of it now is ourselves. All the obstacles have been removed. And it's almost like if you play video games, there's always, the monsters and the small battles, and then you get to the big boss, the final boss at the end. And it turns out, Sag, that the final boss is you. The final boss is your own defense mechanism. If happiness is what you want, which is kind of what we all want. I would hope so. I would assume so. And I would say that I'm very, I think I'm very sure to have that assumption. So yeah, that's really interesting. I really like this reading. I mean, obviously, like, I'm a Sag too, but there's a lot of wisdom that's coming through. Sagittarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Virgo tend to drop the most wisdom out of the readings, I mean, not as like people, as signs. But yeah, I always really like, I don't have placements in Virgo. Yeah, I don't have placements in Virgo or Taurus, but I watch their readings after I film them because I feel like they always have wisdom. Sag, Scorpio, Virgo, and Taurus always drop, I mean, all the readings really drop wisdom, but those to me are always really prominent and significant and really helpful in a way. So I don't know, I'm just really like grateful right now because I'm hearing a lot of things that I need to hear from myself. So thank you. For Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, For the spirits that guide, watch over, and advise Sagittarius, what is the message that you wish to relay to Sagittarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Goddess of creation, transformation, creativity, and wholeness. I believe another sign got this as well for their end of the month. I'm not sure who it was though, but Spirit is letting you know that right now, during this time where your security is being reevaluated or reestablished in a sense, reassessed, it's actually a really good time to focus on your creations, to keep your mind and your focus and your sights lined up on that target, as we usually have. We almost always have a target. I want to say always, but I don't know. There's different types of Sag, so I want to say almost always, but for me, I always have a target in mind. Always. I feel like there definitely have been points during my life where I've been wandering mindlessly, but for the most part, there's always a target. Even I feel like even during the wandering mindlessly, there's still a target in mind. There's still something, whether it's in the foreground or in the front, that I am trying to create for myself, for my community, for my loved ones, for a higher purpose. And even for the purpose of even for the sake of my own personal growth, my own personal journey, to transform and to create something new within myself, to feel more whole by creating new things that feel right to me, by creating opportunities and community that feels right, that adds to my life, that increases the value of my life. So Spirit really wants you to still focus and still remain focused on your creations, still remain focused on what you have going for yourself, because I really feel like a lot of this energy is like regret and what I could have done, what I should have done. Is it too late? I missed out on an opportunity, I lost something. And through this loss, then you also have your own guard up, keeping you from happiness, keeping you from your own happiness. So it's like, how are you going to be able to manifest anything? Focus on yourself. The focus needs to be on the self and creating from within, because your energy and your power are within you, are technically kind of surrounding you as well, right, with your aura. Use that energy and utilize this downtime to focus on your creations. What are you creating inside of you right now? What is boiling under your skin, and what is formulating and turning into something, because you know that you most likely have your eyes set on something. What's the prize? What's the end goal? And are you working every day, little by little, putting energy towards that creation? Or are you sitting around holding your defenses high as hell and wondering, why am I not getting my happiness? Why am I not getting my fill and my fair share of that? Again, the final boss is you. We'll see who comes out on top. You or yourself. Alrighty, Sag, that was your reading. I hope that it resonated, and I hope that it helps you in any way, shape, or form. If it did, let me know in the comments down below. If you guys want to book a personal reading, again, you can email me, and that's in the description box down below. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this. I really appreciate your guys' support very, very much, and I wish you guys the best of luck. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.